Today we got it's Ladies' Day. We got two ladies with us. Leah Smith from the Little People of America and the Director of Public Relations for that organization. We'll talk about this issue went viral and went national. Freeburg is called the midgets. We won't use that whole lot today because I know that offends people, especially somebody like Leah, who is a sweetheart to come on it, even though she's on Eastern time. She got kids and everything. But we'll talk about that. That went viral today. We got a story up on the StatelineSports.com about it, and we'll find out about it because it all ties in with the Native American thing. And there's one in Goshen, Indiana, and people hate each other after that. We're talking about message boards.
Oh, yeah.
Me and you have been on message boards. We don't even do that anymore because people are very nasty.
They get extremely nasty. They get brave behind the keyboard. You don't know who it is a lot of the times. And, it just gets to the point you don't even want to go on there anymore because, people will just say anything. They will try to upset you. I was telling you, I said, I don't even think half the people that write what they write believe what they're writing.
They just do it to be nasty.
Yeah, they're just trying to be nasty. They're just trying to get a rise out of people and be contrarian. And it just gets bad on there.
I don't mind if you don't agree with me at all.
Right.
And if I don't agree with you, but man, when it gets, the worst part is it gets you to that point where you do it. That's when I stop doing it again. And it's too bad because there's really some people there's some people on there that are good people that you want to talk to.
Yeah. In theory, it'd be a good place to have, civil debate, further the conversation, that kind of thing. But people just take it at different levels, and it's not worth it.
And sometimes you know who it is.
Oh, yeah,
that's
sometimes
talking
you
on
do,
there.
yeah.
But, I mean, they get awful brave when you don't have that official name. Maybe if everybody, I say everybody put your real name on there and how to get a hold of you. That
put
would
your
cure
name,
that.
picture, and address on there, and then let's see what you want to say.
You don't even know how old people are on there. They might be just kids, Most of them are probably kids. And
that's what a lot of it is.
But it's very sad, and I sent a link to Leah about this situation in Freeburg. I said, if you want to read it, go ahead, but it's very offensive what they say about the nickname and all that stuff.
Right.
People get really, like I said, we talked about brave, so we'll talk to her a little bit about that.
Well, and unfortunately, people cling to tradition.
Yeah.
Well, this is how we've always done it, and this is how we want to continue to do it, but just because that's how it's always been done doesn't mean that it's right.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to evolve, you have to change with the times. I do believe that sometimes in this world we go a little bit too far on the political correctness and things like this, but this is a situation where that's not the case.
Yeah.
There's not a need for something like this.
And I know a lot of people see the Washington NFL issue with the Redskins is that way, but I said if you would go into a group of Native Americans and say, hey, you you might get a reaction that you weren't expecting.
Exactly.
And it's easy to hammer that when you're hiding behind something.
Similar with this group, too, if you.
There's actually 7 schools in the U.S. that have that name, which shocked me.
Yeah, that shocks me, too. I would have never even thought of something like that, actually, when you were kind of posting some of the stories and looking through it. I'm like, really? Somebody has that as a mascot name?
Well, there's some other ones, too.
Oh, I'm sure.
And you know what? They're all going to get hit.
Yeah.
What happened in Freeburg was, and we'll give a little bit of a pre to that, is the fact that the Little People of America had their convention in St. Louis.
Okay.
Well, it's just across the border where Freeburg's at. It's by O'Fallon and in the St. Louis area. So they went over there. And the first stuff I saw was very civil. They invited the little people to come in and make their presentation. And then the board meeting was Thursday night. 500 people showed up and says, we don't want to change that name. That doesn't offend us. That doesn't offend me. And go, we got a problem.
Yeah. Well,
I don't think you want your school to get involved in that, to tell you the truth.
Honestly, it's probably not worth it in the long run if they're going to come down on you like that, because it's going to become a public relations nightmare. Nobody's going to come out looking good trying to cling to a name like that.
On either side, and it gets pretty...
Exactly.
And with the trademark issue this week with the NFL, the Washington team losing their trademark, that's money down the tube for them.
It is, and I don't know... Losing the trademark, I feel, is a separate issue from the name itself and the offensiveness of that. I don't know. I've got some... I don't like them taking the trademarks away, I guess. I understand wanting to get them to change the name, and I know that's what they're trying to do, is to force them to make a change. But I don't know if that's the right way to go about it.
When you look at I've talked to Amanda Blackhorse, who's the main plaintiff on there, and she, I wouldn't want Amanda on my bad side.
That's for sure.
I mean, they're and when they won this one, it was like the next step is we go after them and those type of things.
And again, and I understand these NFL teams are, worth more money than I can probably imagine. They have the money to fight the legal battles, but is it worth it in the long run to drop all this money in these legal battles for, ultimately whether it's,
they're going to look bad either
whether
way.
it's in the next month, the next year, 5 years from now, that's going to end up changing.
Yeah.
So why not save the money and just change it now?
And you look at it, and, I've seen people that have changed their mascots, like Miami University went from Redskins to Redhawks.
Yeah.
People said, well, the upside is everybody has to buy new.
Right.
They have to buy new
They gotta
T-shirts.
go
The
buy all the new
diehards won't
stuff.
do that, but the new people don't even think about it anymore.
Right, exactly.
And everybody was happy and all that stuff. And
It doesn't make as big of a deal as they think it's going to in the long run.
No.
It really doesn't.
But it's kind of sad because it really is divisive.
Right.
And it went from trying to be civil to not being. Native Americans, if you go back, they've been trying this for 30 years to get that changed.
Right.
And this was a big thing for them on the trademark thing.
Yeah.
Because they could do it. They
Right.
couldn't stop anything else, but they could stop that from what I'm told.
Right.
But I'll tell you what. Then
Yeah.
we should, in the summer, I think there's a lot of leeway time for everybody.
Yeah.
So that's when this stuff happens.
Oh,
And
yeah. That's when